One time one devotee gave a comment that Bhagavad Gita is not giving us happiness. It gives us intelligence only. But it's not like that. Bhagavad Gita gives us intelligence and Bhagavad Gita gives us happiness too. A small story about Sripad Yamunacharya. He was a very great devotee. You know him? Amarnath Ruhu? Yamunacharya? You've heard of him? Very nice. A very pure devotee in Sri Sampradaya. And as a child, he was trained in devotional service. But as a matter, I will not tell the whole story, but in a matter of time, he became a king. And as a king, he enjoyed so much sense enjoyment. But then again, before leaving his body, his grandfather, he thought, oh, my grandson was so nice. Now he's into sense gratification. Let him come back to bhakti. So he sent one of his disciples, Ram Mishra. And over a period of time, somehow the Ram Mishra convinced and had an audience with the king. And he said in a very nice way, and let's like I'm trying to trap some devotees for Mangalarati. So then he also trapped the king. He said, your grandfather has left a big wealth for you. The king is naturally interested in wealth. So then he said, okay, where is that wealth? That wealth is between 7 doors. So can you bring for me? No, you will have to go with me alone to get that wealth. That wealth was Sri Ranganathji within the 7 doors of the there are 7 doors, there are 7 circles, 7 you can say walls, and there is a door, a successive door, and then you have darshan of Sri Ranganathji. He did not say about the Lord at that time. He was knowing. And as they were going, so then he began to chant the shlokas of the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And hearing that, immediately Maharaj Kulshekar had the remembrance, oh, I used to chant Bhagavad Gita so nicely, it was so pleasurable. And then he fell at the feet of Ram Mishra, said, I don't want to go back to my kingdom. I just want to run a devotional service. He's the spiritual master of Sripad Ramanujacharya. I would request devotees who know Hindi, I think all of you know Hindi, you can hear the lecture series on Sripad Ramanujacharya given by His Holiness Bhakti Samit Maharaj. We have already put in the group called Bhagavad Katha. Beautiful. It's a very nicely story form and how everything is so nice. You can hear it very nicely. So Bhagavad Gita is not only purifying us, but is also very pleasurable. We'll see and we'll hear from Arjuna also. He's saying, Krishna, you are speaking such nectarian words. I am not feeling satisfied with that. Please keep on speaking. Okay. Now, before we go further, very nice reflection. One devotee just told me that Prabhuji, you told that the demons were very eager to have nectar. When the churning of nectar, why they were eager? Aham purvam, first I will get, not you. Because they were thinking, they were not knowing. They were thinking that this Amrita will make them Amrit, Amar. Clear, na? That's why, and then they will enjoy sense gratification. Very clear? They did all this endeavor. Can you sit here? I have to, like a badminton, I have to just put a chair there. So now, they were very much convinced. Acha, 1 second. Before the churning of the milk ocean, did they have any experience of drinking the nectar? No. So hearing from Lord Vishnu, even the Asuras was convinced that if we drink somehow, that if we can get the nectar, with all the efforts we are going to put here in this churning of ocean for thousands of years, we hear very carefully what I'm saying, we will become immortal. Now, is it true that they would have become immortal by drinking nectar? Amarnath Ruhu. Is it true that by drinking nectar, which had come out from the churning of milk ocean, that they will become actually immortal? No. Because there is nothing like immortality in the material world. It's just to encourage them to have a long life for sense enjoyment. Now just think about it. Is Harinam actually Amrita? Actually, will it actually make you immortal? Will it actually take you to Vaikuntha, where you can be with Krishna for eternally and get the highest sense enjoyment by employing your senses in Krishna's service? You understand? That is the highest sense gratification, sense engagement. Do you agree? How much happiness you're going to get in Vaikuntha? Endless. Let us ask our auditors. your father had failed. Let me ask the question from Anusha Mataji. Do you know cost to value ratio? You can bow down your head or no? Do you know? Okay. If the cost is 100 and the value is infinite, what is the ratio? Cost to value. Cost is in the numerator and underneath is denominator. Denominator is infinite and cost is 100. Maybe you can type, then I can see, or whatever you can speak. Let me see. Oh, she has passed. She has passed. 0. So now if you chant Hare Krishna, and it's very easy to chant Hare Krishna by waking up early in the morning. Oh no, it is too much cost. It's too much cost. Now have you understood that have mathematics? Whole day very difficult to chant or not? But if you chant 16 rounds in the morning, 16 is too much. But what is the value, my dear devotees? What is the value? In one life you go back to Godhead. Then you are going back to Godhead free of cost. Now I think you understand? Okay. So why I am saying all this? Similarly, we should be eager to hear Bhagavad Gita, whose Sakrit Gita Mrita Snanam Sansara Malanashanam. Have you heard this? Even once somebody tastes this Gita Amrit, which actually makes you immortal, all the contaminations of this material world will be destroyed. And don't we feel like this? And we'll see what happens when the contamination in the heart is destroyed, which will be discussed by Lord Krishna here in this chapter. Sometimes, I was just laughing, sometimes people have this understanding, our counselor, our teacher is not paying attention. I think now the complaint is different. Our teacher is paying too much attention. Why does not he leave me alone? I got to sleep. It's too much attention, is it not? Why are you sleeping? Why are you sleeping? Why are you sleeping? Why are you not waking up? It's too much attention. I don't think anybody will become my counselor henceforth. This is too much. It's too much. But I tell you, one devotee met me in Prasadam Hall, said, Prabhuji, would you like to be my counselor? I said, fine. You come tomorrow for japa. And he has never presented any problem to me up till now. Because he completes his rounds in the morning. No problem. And those who don't complete their rounds, they will only have problem. Prabhuji, ye problem hai, wo problem hai. The problem is you are not placing the real solution. So let us now go forward. Actually, you'll be very much enthusiastic if you chant your rounds in the morning. No problem. Is it not, Anish? Problems are there. Krishna anyhow solves all the problems. So let us now read. So now the Lord has explained in 2.51. Just let us read the shloka one time. Karmajam buddhi yuktahi phalam tyaktva manishanaha janma bandha vinirmukta padam gachanti namayam. By having the transcendental intelligence that I am an eternal servant of Krishna, a person gives up the good and bad reactions of all the karma, which has been born from fruitive activities, and he becomes free from the bondage of birth and death and goes to Vaikuntha. So now the Lord explains further. Now a question can be there. When this kind of intelligence will come? You are saying when a person have this intelligence that I am a servant of Krishna, he will engage in Krishna service only. So question can come, no? When will that come? समझ रहा है ना? Yes. So that on that the Lord is saying this shloka. Please chant after me. Yada te moha kalilam buddhir vyatitarishyati tada kantansi nirvedam. अरे भूखे हो मुझे पता है, लेकिन जोर से आवाज तो निकालो. मिलेगा प्रसाद, मिलेगा 9 बजे. श्रोतव्यस्य श्रुतस्य च यदा ते मोह कलिला बुद्धिर्व्यतितरश्यति तदागन्तासि निर्वेदम् श्रोतव्यस्य श्रुतस्य च. We have less time, I will not chant more. We'll just go forward meanings. Yada, when. Te, your. Moha, of illusion. Kalilam, dense forest. Buddhi, transcendental service with intelligence. Vyatitarishyati, surpasses. Tada, at that time. Gantansi, You shall go. Nirvedam, carelessness. Srotavasya, toward all that is to be heard. Shrutasya, all that is already heard. Cha, also. Translation: when your intelligence has passed out of the dense forest of delusion, you shall become indifferent to all that has been heard and all that is to be heard. It's a beautiful shloka. Yadate moha kalilam buddhir vyatitarishasi. When your intelligence comes out of this dense darkness of ignorance, dense forest of ignorance. In dense forest, there is no light. You can't see yourself and you can't see anything. We don't have experience because we don't live in forest, but that's how we can at least imagine. Is that clear? So now when your intelligence is coming out of the forest, means, hold on, what is moha? Moha means that to believe what we are not as what we are. I am not this body. Did I not explain yesterday with the example of mobile and a smartphone? Sorry, mobile and a kartal. Kartal and a smartphone have nothing in common. Kartal cannot become a smartphone. Smartphone cannot become kartal. Are we smart enough to understand this much? So now, yes, we are smart, Prabhuji. We understood. So now, Atma can never become body and body can never become Atma. So because of the illusion that I am thinking I am this body, I will like to hear with both the ears what is good for my body and senses. Make sense to you? And that's how, when we're talking about Shrutavasya and Shrutasya, we are not talking about mathematics, physics and chemistry, which has to be heard in this life. We are talking about Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, etc. People, I think you are understanding if you are knowing the flow. A person wants sense gratification. What is the answer? Why he wants sense gratification? To enjoy. To enjoy the senses, because he thinks that he is the senses in the body. Fine. Now, for that, what he has to hear? Which part of the Vedas he has to hear? Sab bhul gaye. Karma Kanda. Okay. After realizing that sense gratification is bad, which part he has to hear? Gyan Kanda. So, a person who is going towards Gyan Kanda, he becomes Nirved. Nirved means indifferent to Karma Kanda. Are you able to samajh pa rahe na meri baat? He has understood that Karma Kanda is useless. So now, a person who is doing bhakti, he will become indifferent to Gyan Kanda also, because the purpose of Gyan Kanda is liberation. So with this transcendental intelligence, Arey Baba, what I will do by liberation? I will not have any senses to serve Krishna. Are you able to understand? So having that fixed intelligence, I will not have nothing to do, nothing to hear from Karma Kanda, nothing to hear from Jnana Kanda or Devata Kanda. Is it make sense to you? If you are hearing Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, Amarnath Prabhu, do you have any plans to hear other Puranas? No? Why are you becoming so indifferent? Now you understand? Again, the same point. At 9 a.m., we're going to have, hopefully, Karnamat is cooking today or is sick? Okay, hopefully. Then we'll have nice prasadam. When you are full up to this point, then you become Brahma realized. Na shochati, na kankshati. You do not desire anything, is it not? Right now you're feeling some emptiness in the stomach, but once your stomach is full, you become nirved. I don't want anything. That's a point. What I'm telling in a joking way, but the point is, once I realize or understand that I am Krishna's eternal servant, why should I engage in any other process except serving Krishna? I am not saying that everybody has to join temple and all that. You can be in your household life or whatever. But the goal is very clear. The goal is to serve Krishna. My utmost and only duty is to serve Krishna. This is not my self-created duty. This is my eternal duty. Can you see the difference between these two words? I have, my duty is to serve this family, this nation, this. In material world, all our duties are self-created. खुद ही मान रहे हैं ना? Is it not? But our eternal duty is to serve Krishna, and it takes some time to understand. And it's not simply time; it is tapasya. Yesterday, we see how one devotee was finding difficult in finding differentiation between a dead woman and a live woman. No problem. If he continues to chant Hare Krishna, he will get this point. I purposefully asked that Prabhu to try to understand this point. I was knowing he was new and it was difficult for him to understand the concept of Atma. But those who have been purified by chanting Hare Krishna, by hearing Bhagavad Gita, it's like cake, it's Atma ka hi hai. So simple. So that's why I'm saying tapasya is, not I am saying, Krishna is saying, tapasya is needed. We need to wake up in the morning, we need to chant Hare Krishna so that we understand for ourselves what is good for us and become indifferent for anything which is not good for realization of our Sarupa. Okay. Gita Bhushan commentary. It is not that it's not very easy to understand. We in our life have to learn A, B, C, D only. You know that? We don't have to learn till Z also. Between birth and death, we make choices. Normally A comes before B, but we can say yes. Because of association, we have taken this birth, and finally, very nice. Every day, we have light going away. But you can obviously hear me. This is very nice. I have to give some chastisement, but afterwards, I'll remain in mode of goodness right now, not in mode of passion. So, by association, our previous life, we took a birth. A to B. You agreed? And after birth, now we have again got some A, association of devotees. And that will help us to make proper choices before death so that we don't have to again start this ABCD again. And you remember this, if we take birth again as a human form of life, again we will actually have to learn ABCD till Z. Very painful. You don't want to think about it, but that's a reality. Gita Bhushan commentary. If Arjuna asks, when will my intelligence become directed toward Atma as I perform Nishkam Karma? When will my buddhi become purified? So the Lord answers in a very nice way. He does not say what time frame is there. It depends on your own intensity. But only thing, you will realize it yourself. You will realize it yourself. So somebody says, Kab bhav ka star prapt hoga? When will I become bhav? When will I come to nishtha? You will naturally understand how earlier it was so difficult to chant. Now it is very easy to chant. Nobody else has to tell you. You yourself will know. There is no time frame. It all depends how much, with what intensity we are rendering service, how much we are offending, how much we are avoiding the offenses. Just very simple point. Now you have to go to catch a train. Very nice. So you have to go to station and be free to go when if you have to go 9 a.m. Now how far is your station? Hear very carefully. Anish Prabhu, how far is the Mathura station from here in terms of time? No, depends on your speed. now you got the point. Depends on your speed. It is that much fast. If you have a very speedy car, you can reach in 15 minutes. And if you are sinking and then sleeping and then maybe 2 days, by the time train is left. It all depends on the speed. What speed I wish to choose, and everybody is free to choose his speed. Very nicely explained by Vrindavan Chand Maharaj. All depends on his speed. You are sitting here, but are you not thinking about catching the train? No. Oh, that's just. But normally we do like that, is it not? Similarly, we may do all our activities in the material world. We should always think about catching the train back to Vaikuntha or plane back to Vaikuntha. In the airport also people do like this. Then we become indifferent to the dualities of this material world. I am not speaking things out of context. If you are in the airport, you are eagerly waiting, you have a ticket, you are eagerly waiting for the airplane, you become indifferent. You are seeing people are drinking liquor and all those things, but you become indifferent. You are only thinking when the plane will come and I'll go to that place. That kind of fixed intelligence is there. Needed or not needed. Yes. You are always conscious what announcements are being made. From which point my plane is going to come. Make sense? Yes. When your intelligence completely gives up vyatitarishati, the antahkaran, a dense forest of ignorance, the cause of craving insignificant results, mohokalilam, then you will become indifferent to topics relating to these insignificant material results about which you have heard in the past and will hear in the future. Amazing commentary. Note, Antahkaran refers to the internal organ composed of mind, material intelligence, and false ego. What does it mean? The dense forest of ignorance is not outside, it is inside. Antahkaran समझ रहे हैं? Karan means उपकरण, समझते हैं? Instrument. You understand उपकरण? उपकरण means instrument. Just like this mic is an instrument. So it is an external instrument I am using. Are you able to understand this point? My mouth and my eyes, all these are my external karanas. Bahya karan, external sense perceptory instruments. Are you able to understand this point? But is something. Okay, very nice. So, but there is something called antahkarana, internal sense perceptory organs, which is called mind. If somebody, okay, just like somebody is singing Hare Krishna Kirtan, everybody hears the same Kirtan. Fine. One person will say Kirtan is good, one person will say Kirtan is not so good. Like in this Sunday, beautifully sung Mangal Arati. And one devotee came to me and he said, today Mangal Arati was not good. I said, not good? I was actually about to appreciate him. What a wonderful Mangal Arati. So can you understand now? I am not talking about devotional service, just that sound. One sound, one person likes, same sound, other person doesn't like. So the external sense, the ears are receiving the same way, but the mind is processing it differently. Are you able to understand these points? So if all of you are liking Bhagavad Gita, this shows your heart has become purified. Otherwise, it's not that people are crossing the limit of Zoom here. 3,000 people are trying to hear Bhagavad Gita. It doesn't work like that. You have been chanting Hare Krishna. That's why your Antahkaran, you understand? Mind, intelligence, all these things that false ego have got purified. That's why there is a desire to serve Krishna. Cheto Darpan Marjanam. Do you feel you have some taste in Bhagavad Gita discussions? You ask your mother also, or anybody else who understands English. It's not that everybody who will understand English will like Bhagavad Gita discussions. Does it make sense? So be happy. Oh, I am liking to hear Bhagavad Gita. This shows purity of heart. नहीं समझ रहे हैं? Everybody understands Bhagavad Gita? Everybody would like to understand Bhagavad Gita. So very nice when lecture Srila Prabhupada says, when a person reads Bhagavad Gita, Krishna becomes so happy. Nobody is reading my Bhagavad Gita. Oh, this person is reading Bhagavad Gita. Very nice, very nice. And Krishna will say in 7th chapter also, I like the person who is in knowledge. So now, you understand Moha Kalilam? This ignorance is in our Antahkara, internal, not outside. Sense objects are outside or inside?
Sense object. Outside.
I should put it like this. Anishwaru, look at this. Everybody can, let me just show it on Zoom. Look at this. Prabhuji, are you going to sell this? No. What do you feel looking at this? Wow. We don't feel like that, is it not? You don't feel like this, is it not? But a young boy, when he looks at a young woman, wow. Same way, young girl will look at a whatever, I don't know how the perception, wow, so handsome. This is also made from earth, water, fire, ether, and the body of a female or a male also made. So now you understand this is the Antahkaran which is having this illusion. And that illusion, because of that illusion, I think by associating with that person, I'll be happy. What will come is, for some time, some fragrance and all the gas will finish. समझ में आया? Example कभी नहीं दिया, अच्छा example है. Sense gratification may look very nice, but afterwards finish. And this is also artificial fragrance, not natural fragrance. Natural fragrance, natural taste will come from Krishna. प्रभु जी कहाँ से आर्गुमेंट लाते हैं मुझे पता नहीं है, तो कृष्णा इंस्पायर्ड दिस आर्गुमेंट. It's a good example, is it not? Anytime you use hand perfume, you remember Krishna's instruction on Bhagavad Gita. So we must purify our antakaran by chanting Hare Krishna, by associating with the mode of goodness. Then we can understand our own welfare. I'm repeating again. When the heart gets purified, we can understand our own welfare for our own good. Amarnath, were able to understand this point? Have you seen Vijay going back to his home? So has he understood? I was chastising me. Fool number one. I have told you so many times the goal of life is love of God. You have still not understood. Yes, Prabhuji, I have still not understood. He accepted that. I have not understood. No problem. He did some bhakti. Very important. Otherwise, it is very important. Otherwise, Maya, a person who has an impure heart, she controls him or her from inside and makes him or her to work for nothing. We do everything to get nothing. समझ रहे ना मेरी बात? When all these dirty desires are there in the heart, we work very hard. You think about getting up early in Mangal Aarti is difficult. My uncle stood for 40 hours to get a boiler fixed. Non-stop, 40 hours. Only because he had to do a job. I have no problem you do a job or not job. But you, all of us are meant to, we are supposed to go back to Godhead and enjoy with Krishna eternally. Not rot in this material world. But when our heart is purified, then we can understand this point. As the Shruti says, Pariksha Lokan. So you understand, once you are fixed in that, then you are not interested to Karma Kanda or any allurement which is given by Maya. Makes sense to you? As the Shruti says, Pariksha Lokan Karma Chitan Brahmano Nirvedam Ayat. The Brahmana, one who has knowledge, having examined the world attained by karma, becomes indifferent to it. You understand this point? A person who's in mode of goodness, he understands people are not becoming happy by material arrangements. He can see it. He can see it. So that's why he becomes indifferent to the endeavors to get sense gratification. Are you able to understand this point? Nirved samajh? Nirved means indifferent. I don't want this. I don't know. Not only I don't want this, I don't care about this. नहीं समझ में आ रही मेरी बात? Nirved is very nice. Nirved means I don't want this. I don't want this. This happens with Bhagavad. You will not believe, but actually, when you keep on chanting Hare Krishna, when you actually keep on hearing Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, you actually don't want sense gratification. Actually don't want. It's not that we're holding off. Actually, ये क्या है? One sannyasi told me, no, by doing bhakti constantly, just like you look at the door, nothing happens to you. Door? I was asking him about guidance in brahmachari life. He said, just keep on practicing Krishna consciousness. One day you'll become so purified, no matter what sense object is outside, you become indifferent to it. Just remain absorbed in Krishna consciousness internally. So that externally you may be doing something, but internally, I told you, I was taking prasadam and I was thinking about ahetuki apratihata. Externally, you may say, he's doing the same thing which others are doing. But now I'm seeing some things are going on in my mind. What I'm hearing and discussing, it goes on in my mind. Even when I'm doing some external things. Even when the bathroom, you can remember Krishna. Just because you have heard those things. Is it happening to you, Amarnath Prabhu? Good. So you are progressing. Are you able to see that people marry but they are not happy? I am not saying whether you get married. Yes, Anish, you have said yes here. Mataji, has he said yes? Now when he plans to get married?
Why I said yes, because I have seen lots of people.
Yes, lots of struggling. Then do you think something different will happen to you? नहीं समझ पाए मेरा प्रश्न. He's seeing everybody struggling, but everybody gets married thinking something different will happen to them. Everybody who takes bath in the swimming pool or jumps in the swimming pool, what happens to them? He gets wet. But if I think something else will happen to me. That is insanity, is it not? It is insanity. There is no rule. I am not saying people should not get married, but if actually you can see, you won't enter into it. If you actually can see. If you cannot see, then you have to experience it. There is no rule about time. You know what rule of time? कब ये बुद्धि आएगी आप नहीं कह सकते. It all depends. When your heart gets purified, you will understand. It depends how much, with what intensity we are doing bhakti. The person will absorb his intelligence in Atma by being indifferent to the results of action while performing Nishkam Karma. Means he will do it. The result of actions was Swarga. But he will say, no, Swarga nahi chahiye. I don't want Swarga. Because he has understood even happiness of Swarga is useless. It's my personal experience. Again, I'm relating to you. Indonesia is like heavenly planet compared to India. Nothing, no pollution. They don't allow any industry. You get all the fruits. Philippines also may be like that. But can you feel that you don't feel happy just by being in a mode of goodness atmosphere? Not horrible, but he says empty. As the word is empty. I'm not criticizing Indonesia. I'm just saying nothing material can make you happy. समझ रहे ना मेरी बात? Here in Vrindavan, the elements are very intense, is it not? Very cold and heat. But you feel spiritually happy. You feel Amarnath Prabhu? It's more cold than compared to South India. But you are more happy here. You remember I was very reluctant to take you. Why? Because I said South Indians may find difficult to get up for Mangal Aarti. But I'm happy you proved me wrong. Just like I would be very happy. Oh, she dropped out, Anusha. If she can prove me wrong that she cannot wake up for Mangal Aarti. Video is off. Hopefully she's there. I want to throw the challenge and you please prove me wrong. Anusha, I want you to be proved wrong. I want you to prove me wrong. I am challenging you. You cannot wake up for Mangal Aarti. You please prove me wrong. I will be happy to be defeated. Okay. Yes. Fine. Like our Amarnath Prabhu defeated me. He never missed Mangal Aarti up till now. I'm so happy. Very nice. Purport. Even a South Indian who has never seen winter. Have you never seen winter? He is able to go for Mangal Aarti. You are born almost in Delhi. You are accustomed to winter. Why cannot wake up? Are you less than the South Indians? No. Actually, South Indians are very good devotees. It's mentioned in Bhagavatam. Purport. There are many good examples in the lives of the great devotees of the Lord of the Lord of those who became indifferent to the rituals of the Vedas simply by devotional service to the Lord. Take clear? They are not interested in the Karmakant portion of the Vedas. Krishna Bhakti Kaila Sarva Karma Krit Hoy. I am chanting Hare Krishna. Why should I do any ritual, Baba? Why should I do that? Will you cook now? 9 a.m. Will you cook? No. Why should I cook? If Karnamrit Prabhu is giving nice prasadam, why should we cook? Kaun headache lega? Is it not? Yes. When a person factually understands Krishna and his relationship with Krishna, he naturally becomes completely indifferent to the rituals of fruitive activities, even though an experienced Brahmana, he naturally becomes completely different. Okay. It means that as a Brahmana, he knows that there are rules and regulations of the Vedas for the purification. Hear very carefully. A Brahmana knows much more than a normal person what are the various rules and regulations which are needed for purification of the heart of the living entity. But knowing the glory of devotional service, he gives up everything. अब समझ में आया? इसे भाई हृदय को शुद्ध करना है. I must purify my heart, and for that I must do my prescribed duty. Yeah, what is my prescribed duty? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Finish. Case closed. I have no other, nothing. I don't have faith on anything. I give an example. I had a stomach problem. I suffered for 2 or 3 months. I tried so many medicines. After that, I got one medicine which cured me for 2-3 days. 2 days back, maybe one dose only. So now I have become indifferent to any other prescription. All those prescriptions were for my disease. But since I've got this one medicine, which is very nice, I don't even know I don't want to remember the names of other medicines. And hold on. If I see other people also suffering from same disease, I don't prescribe them, take this, take that, take this one medicine and you will be cured. Don't worry. सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य महामेकम शरणम भजा हम त्वाम सर्व पापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. प्रभु जी बहुत टेंशन है, बहुत परेशानी है. नो टेंशन. Chant Hare Krishna, hear Bhagavad Gita, all tension will go away. Are you able to relate now? Sri Madhavendra Puri, a great devotee and acharya in the line of devotees, says, Sandhya, you have to sing like Janmadhyasya. Sandhya vandana bhadramastu bhavato bho snanato bhyam nama bho deva pitarascha tarpana vidhau naham shama shamyatam यत्वापि निषद्याय यादव कुलोत्तमस्य कंसः द्विषः स्मारं स्मारमगं हरामि तदलं मन्ये किमन्येन मे. Sandhya Vandan Bhadramastu, the 3 times offering of Gayatri etc. Sandhya is called Sandhya Vandan. The Brahmanas must do. It's a very great offense for a Brahmana to not do that. He says, Sandhya Vandan Bhadramastu Bhavato. May all glories to Sandhya Vandan. He says, he knows, very nice. Bho Snana Tubhyam Namaha. Oh, morning, 3 times bath. I am paying obeisances to you. My dear devotees, you are not like that. You have to take bath. Madhavendra Puri you can say, but you cannot say like that. Bho Deva Pitarascha Tarpana Vidho. There is offering of oblations to Devatas and Pitaras. I am also pleased. Shamaha Shamyatam. I am asking forgiveness from you. Yatra Kwap Nishadaya Yadava Kulottamasya Kansa Dushaha. Smaram Smaram Agam Haram Itad Alam Manye Kim Annena Me. Why are you asking forgiveness? Why do you don't want to serve us? He says, wherever I go, I can remember Yadav Kulottamasya. Who is the best among the Yadukul? Who is that? Krishna. And who is Kansa Disha? Who is the enemy of Kansa? Who is that? Krishna. Smaram Smaram. I can remember him anywhere. But because we cannot remember him anywhere, that's why we have to come for Mangalarati. If you can remember Krishna anywhere, then also you should come for Mangalarati. Then we can have your association. Prabhuji, aap to kahin chhod de rahe mere ko. Agham harami. That remembrance itself is destroying my all impurities. Tad alam manne. I think this is very, very sufficient for me. At kim annena me. What I should want anything else. Beautiful shloka? Yeah. It's not only faith. He knows sufficient. Pet bhar gaya ekdam. Bhakti karke. Bhakti kaila sarva karma krita hoy. Oh, my prayers 3 times a day, all glory to you. You are very nice. Oh, bathing, I offer my obeisances unto you. Very, very good. Oh, demigods, oh, forefathers, please excuse me for my inability to offer you my respects. Now, wherever I sit, I can remember the great descendant of the Yadu dynasty, Krishna, the enemy of Kansa, and thereby I can free myself from all sinful bondage. I think this is sufficient for me. But do you think it applies to us? No, we have to do sadhana bhakti because wherever I sit, I remember only sense gratification as a conditioned soul. But we should not bother ourselves with Vedic rituals. We should only be bothered about bhakti rituals. Bhakti sadhana bhakti. Prabhupada may not come for Mangalarti, but he will still remember Krishna. If I don't come for Mangalarati, what do I remember? I remember my nice woolen blanket, which my mother gave me with so much affection. Is it not? I will not remember Krishna. So we must wake up and take bath and chant Hare Krishna. So point is mentioned, but we have to understand what is being spoken. But the point is, we also are not bothered about Vedic rituals. We are only talking about bhakti sadhana. The Vedic rites and rituals are imperative for neophytes. Clear? Comprehending all kinds of prayer 3 times a day, taking a bath early in the morning, offering respects to the forefather, etc. But when one is fully in Krishna consciousness and is engaged in his transcendental loving service, one becomes indifferent to all these regulative principles because he has already attained perfection. If one can one can reach the platform of understanding by service to the Supreme Lord Krishna, he has no longer to execute different types of penances and sacrifices as recommended in revealed scriptures. Here very carefully. You might think, or we might think, oh, acha, I am a neophyte, so I must do all the Vedic rituals? No. Even I am a neophyte, taking guidance from superior devotees, what do they tell us? What Srila Prabhupada is telling? if one can reach the platform of understanding. What understanding? I am a servant of Krishna by service to Supreme Lord Krishna. Please hear very, very carefully. We have not been serving Krishna since beginningless time. That's why we don't know Krishna. As soon as we begin to engage in Krishna's service by our senses, Krishna will reveal himself to us. Again, hear carefully. Since beginningless time we are in this material world, Krishna has not revealed himself to us. Is it not, Amarnath Prabhu? Why he has not revealed? Because we have not engaged our senses in Krishna's service. Is it getting in your mind? This is a point you should take away. Just like you are going to take prasadam and also you are going to take tiffin. Make sense to you? Well, no problem. Take this tiffin from this class. If because we have not been engaging in Krishna's service, Krishna is not revealing to us since beginningless time. So if I engage now my senses in Krishna's service, Krishna will reveal that I am an eternal servant of Krishna. I'm just emphasizing it too much so that you can get this point. I hope everybody is getting this point. You engage your senses under the guidance of Vaishnavas and you will see how Krishna reveals to you more and more. This is a secret. You chant Hare Krishna, you Mangalarti, go to Mangalarti, take prasadam and hear Bhagavad Gita and you will see by this process, no other, you see what Prabhupada is saying, no other process or sacrifice penance is needed. Prabhupada is saying in one purport, sometimes our disciples bring some austere books which describe so many austerities. But our complaint is that they can't even chant Hare Krishna. Na naam sam tapaha, na naam sam vrataha, na naam sam yajnaha. Chanting of holy names, nothing, no yajna, no tapasya, no vrata is equal to chanting Hare Krishna. We know that, is it not? 3.30, 3.7. Once somebody has chanted Krishna, he's done all the austerities, all tapasya, all reading of Vedic literatures. Everything what has to be done. So why should I do any other sadhana? This is sufficient for me. Mataji, you are going to go to Delhi now. You want to catch the train. When you're sitting in the train and if you see a cycle wala going along, will you feel, oh, he's going at a very high speed. Maybe I should sit on this cycle. Will you do that? No. So you are sitting in a train which is going directly to your stop. Hai na, kuch nahi, khali baithna hai na. You have to just sit there. And will you ask, hey, just tell the driver, what is the speed? Tell him to drive safely. No, we don't worry about it. Just keep sitting. Just keep sitting. You are educated. In the train, will there be some Mataji who is not educated at all? Quite possible, is it not? Maybe more. So they will not reach the destination. What is the qualification? Keep sitting. So keep sitting in association of devotees, keep chanting Hare Krishna. Sometime I have seen with my own eyes, I was going to Ambala, one completely uneducated Mataji came and she did not know how to read the name of the station. Since she was asking somebody else, please tell me when my particular destination will come. So they have helped her. So such an ignorant Mataji, it can apply to Prabhuji also. And she also reached the destination. Are you able to understand this point? Being guided by Vaishnavas. So being guided by Vaishnavas, anybody who chants Hare Krishna, take prasadam, hears Hari Katha, they will go back home, back to God. Just keep sitting. Only thing is, don't get down to buy some samosas. Are you able to understand? You understand what I'm trying to say? Become indifferent. Is it not? This is samosa, this, that. Okay, just like I appreciate Mataji, Anish Prabhu was telling me, he went with him for some tour and Anish Prabhu asked Mataji, would you like to eat something? And what did you say? I will not eat this outside food. Why? Hunger may be there, but now I have knowledge. I will not engage. I will take prasadam. Fine? Make sense? And similarly, if one has not understood that the purpose of the Vedas is to reach Krishna and simply engages in the rituals, etc., then he is uselessly wasting time in such engagements. Beautiful point. Just see what Srila Prabhupada is telling. If a person is chanting Hare Krishna, he does not have to do any Vedic sacrifice. Everything is done. His life is perfect. And if a person is doing all Vedic sacrifices and not chanting Hare Krishna, his life is useless. Now what to talk of Ugra Karma, what we are doing in this world? If Vedic rituals, which are pious in themselves, are useless, if we don't do bhakti, then what is the value of our ugra karma which we do nowadays if we don't do bhakti? It's called Kaimityanaya. Persons in Krishna consciousness transcend the limit of Shabda Brahman. Can you imagine that? Just by doing sadhana bhakti. Shabda Brahman means Vedas or the range of the Vedas and Upanishads. Amazing line, amazing line. I'll read it again. Persons in Krishna consciousness transcend the limit of Shabda Brahma or the range of the Vedas and Upanishads. Beautiful point explained in Chaitanya Bhagavat by Mahaprabhu himself. Khaite suita, a person who chants Hare Krishna while eating and sleeping. Tar mahima ved na kahite parite. A person who is chanting constantly, somehow that is chanting, that person's glory, not the holy name, that person's glory cannot be described by Vedas, confirmed by a bell of a temple. I have told that in Japa talk. Now can you see, is it worthwhile to sacrifice a little bit of a sleep and wake up early in the morning and chant in the association of those people who have transcended Vedas? Are you able to understand what I'm trying to say? How much fortunate we are to get association of Vaishnavas for 6 hours in the morning, from 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. every day. But if you don't realize the value, then you say, "Kahan phas gaye hum? Arey baap re, kahan phas gaye?" And again, our meeting, our store is going to get closed now, and the store will again open at 2 p.m. to 8. So you can take prasadam, take rest, and 8:30. Sorry, take prasadam, take little rest, give rest to your engine, doesn't become overheated, and then again come to the store. And I was reflecting upon it. If in the store there are so many people, then will you like to go to the store again and again? Yes. Oh, the store must be very good. They must be selling something nice. But if nobody comes to the store, then लगता है चलता नहीं है, माल अच्छा नहीं है. Is it not? So if more and more devotees come, I mean, I invited my mother also to come. She came actually today. So I said, you are chanting 64 rounds. So what is the point? Is just open your laptop. I'll make you sit. She could not understand which store you're talking about. वो कहाँ बैठना है? Like Harinam store. You have to just sit there. Our Vasudev Prabhu Chaitanya chants 98 rounds every day. He's beyond Vedas. He's beyond anything practically. So you can see. So I said, why don't you just sit on that? He's agreeing on. So I have no problem. I said from 10 o'clock, then we can extend our store timings. So there's a job opening for people who want to join our store from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. if you want to keep the store open. अकेले आदमी कब तक बैठेगा बताइए, है कि नहीं? I'll finish on a very funny note. One devotee I know, he was a devotee. He was studying and he became a devotee. Then from day one, his father told him to sit on shoe shop. Shoe shop. They had a family business of shoe shop. And he became practiced to sit for 12 hours at a stretch. That is the meaning of practice. Just to sell shoes. You know what I'm talking about? Just to sell shoes, we can sit for 12 hours. And to go back to Godhead, we can't sit for 6 hours.
Or even put
Think about it, is it not? जूता बेचने के लिए 12 घंटे जूता बेचने के लिए. No, don't worry, I'm not telling you to sit for 12 hours. But again, the store will open at 2 p.m. You can come at your own time. And you can take rest and take prasadam and come at your own time. So whenever you chant Hare Krishna mantra more and more and become transcendental to Vedas. Are there any questions? I'll just take some quick questions. Trikal Sandhya, 3 times Sandhya, Tarpan, giving waters to Pitra. Bhakti frees us from all Pitra Dev and Rishis. Yes, it's a fact. It's like a very simple thing. You are a son of a wealthy father. Fine? And you go to a mall and you say, Papa, I want this. Beta, jo lena le le. Payment main kar dunga. Does it make sense to you? Once you connect to Krishna, Krishna is our father. Papa, Krishna, I have so many responsibilities. Don't worry. Sarv dharman parityaja. I'll pay all your debts. All your debts. हो गया ना, चिंता खत्म हो जाती है ना. ठीक, कर्जा होने से टेंशन होती है ना. आपका सारा कर्जा मैं चुका दूंगा. कृष्ण के पास कितना पैसा है? Anusha, can you audit how much money Krishna has? No, you don't have to audit because he has all the money. कोई गड़बड़ नहीं. Legal, एक नंबर का पैसा है. He has one number, so white money. Everything belongs to him only. There is no black money for Krishna. He is black, but his money is white. If one does not need to follow any regulative principles as soon as he began to serve Krishna, why we need to follow 4 regulative principles? we have to follow four regulative principles because we have to follow four regulative principles. When we actually become advanced in bhakti, we don't have to follow four regulative principles. Are you able to understand my language? You don't automatically. Will you like? Will you? Somebody has to like. आपने को क्या मांस खाने के लिए रोकना पड़ रहा है क्या? बहुत दिन से नहीं, it doesn't work like that, is it not? चाय पीने के लिए रोकना पड़ रहा है. Now if you go to the train, I don't know whether you're drinking tea or not, but actually if you go to train, no matter how much they say chai, 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 you become disgusted. Why is this disturbing me? And you know what they do? First they say chai, chai. So those people who are attracted to chai, they may not think about getting the chai, but then immediately say the next person chai, chai. Now your decision has come to buy the chai. This is their policy. But no matter how much they say chai, chai, will you buy Amarnath Prabhu? Do I have to force you to follow this principle? So we have to follow this because we have to follow this right now. And as we become advanced in bhakti, who cares? We don't even think about breaking regulative principles. What to talk of? Hota hi nahi hai. Prabhupada says by following these principles you become a human being. One student asked Prabhupada, I am following four regulative principles. It looks like I have become a devotee. Prabhupada said, no, now you have become a human being. Now you become human being. Okay? No other questions? Okay. So, please forgive my offenses which I commit when I give classes because it's my nature to poke people. Poke is one. Taunt, poke, somehow other engage him in chanting Hare Krishna as so that he can transcend the Vedas. I'll just finish this one example. You can very easily relate to it. For 1 year I was in South India in engineering college. So it was the final examination, and by that time I had already qualified for IIT mains also. So I was roaming around in the college like a Brahmagyani. Everybody was engaged in trying to become happy or a great person in that college, but I have nothing to do with college. I said, yeah, karo padhai karo. You understand my point? So when you're chanting Hare Krishna, why you have to do any Vedic rituals? You can do. I am serving Krishna. Last. If you are serving the Prime Minister of India, will you have any opportunity to serve the DMs of some particular state? This is the example given by Acharyas. So when we are serving Krishna, where we have time to serve anybody else? Only thing what we do is we serve others in relationship with Krishna. Am I serving all of you in relationship with the Lord by speaking on Bhagavad Gita? So am I serving you or not? Am I your servant or not? Say yes. Zoom devotees, am I your servant or not? Yes, I'm a good servant. So even if I chastise sometimes, why are you not waking for Mangalarti? That's only a service. Please don't take any offense. I just pray that everybody should become very happy by practicing Krishna consciousness. Okay, so we shall stop here. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.